G'day everyone, how's it going? It's Jackson, welcome back to Endeavours for the 27th of January. So as always, timecodes below if you just want to jump ahead to one endeavour that you're looking at doing, and you just need help with it. This set here, it's pretty good, everything's pretty straightforward. Patrolling horror might be a bit iffy, but it's still not too bad. I'd probably go Reptiles, Blacksmithing, Crafting, and I'd go to Guild Daily. Yeah, like I said, everything's fine. I'll go through everything today. So crafting the blacksmithing, the absolute cheapest thing you can craft to get this done is you can go 4 iron daggers. That costs you 8 iron ingots, which is pretty easy to get, and you obviously need some style materials too. The style materials, the easy bit, just find any blacksmith. You can usually find these people around where you can find a blacksmithing station. So Ben's Iron, as an example here, just open up the menu and you'll get all the different style materials that all the different base races can use. All the base styles. So yeah, you can just buy these for a little bit of gold. If you're bankrupt, if you need a bit of gold for this and for any of the other stuff here, then just check the description. I've got a video for just some early game gold gathering. You don't need anything, no experience, so you just basically need to be able to press E. That's it. So if you need some iron, my advice to you is you can buy that stuff on guild stores for pretty cheap, but if you want to source it yourself, it's actually quite easy. So get a low level character, because you only get iron stuff at a low level. You can get other materials if you can craft them. It's just that iron is the one you use the least of. So it's if you get a larger portion of iron, it just means you make more use out of it, essentially. So if you come to Shadowfen, to the main town of Stormhold, you can use this set of weapon racks and like the stone here. It's got a lot of iron or a lot of metallic items that you can take. And it's pretty easy to keep yourself hidden as well. So if you need to get here, check the other video on the Endeavour preps, say explanation on home tours. You can use that to just travel to Ample Domicile over here. Just leave whoever's house you go to and it'll take you here. And it's just, yeah, you'll have access to Stormhold from that point. So over here you'll see all these weapons here, just grab a couple of them. Just be mindful, if you stand here, this guy will come over to this bunch of weapons here. And he'll look straight towards you. That's why you want to go behind this little pillar here, just to make sure he can't see you. If he starts moving here, just be aware that he might spot you. But usually you're fine. So yeah, when he's over there, you can just go ahead and grab a bunch of this stuff here as well. So yeah, most of the stuff is metallic in nature. So once you've got all that stuff, what you want to do is just head over to back to that blacksmithing station. So it's just over here. Once you're there, just head into deconstruct and just grab everything that you picked up and just deconstruct it. Now you can do this in other places. See, we got some iron ingots and we got 7 there, but what you can do is you can craft 3 or however many you've got style material wise. Just deconstruct them and you'll get some iron and some style materials back. So you can use them for either crafting more or just in the future if you need some more. Sorry, I've forgotten what I was saying before. Sorry, the reason I only suggest stealing them is you can do this with stuff that's not stolen. Say if you want to go to White God Tower, it's like a common thing I do for other endeavors. When you deconstruct stuff that isn't stolen, it doesn't give you anywhere near as much materials. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. Also, obviously, if you've got access to writs, you should do those. Blacksmithing writs, basically just like a quest to craft a bunch of iron items or wherever you are at that point for crafting. They're always good to do because you can get tempering alloys, which honestly is the gold material that I use the most out of anything, aside from maybe Cooters. So doing blacksmithing writs to get a chance of getting those is a good thing to do today. You need to do, either you can do a writ and just craft 1 more iron dagger, or just do 2 characters worth of writs. That'll be like 6 items, but that'll fill out the endeavor as well. And you know, you get other stuff done, like you get some of the quests here done. It's just that this one here, it's guild daily, so it's not going to count. If it was just regular daily quests, it would count, so you could probably do both of those, but yeah, unfortunately not the case. Though that being said, guild dailies are still pretty easy today, so I'll go through those in a second as well. I just want to cover reptiles first, because I think that's a pretty solid option too. Now, do be aware, you could get a specific guild daily quest where perhaps you could find Durzogs or specific other things, like maybe crocodiles, if you get a daily quest for the place in Grautwood. I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Rootsunder Ruins? Yeah, Root Sunder. There are reptiles in here in the form of crocodiles, so you could get lucky doing both of them at once, but I don't... It's a random thing whether you get any of that stuff or not. Okay, so when it comes to reptiles, whenever I want to do this one, I just head to Blessed Crucible. This is located in the southeastern side of the rift. It's a dungeon, and because it's a dungeon, it's isolated from like the rest of the world. So you can just jump in when you're ready, and no matter what's going on outside, all these Durzogs here will be ready to kill. It just means you're spending less time worrying about other people running around outside killing everything. It's not a big deal usually, but yeah, it's just very convenient because you come in here, you just kill these 5 reptiles here, and then you just go out the door, and whichever way shrine you travel in from, it'll take you straight back there. So it just means that you can just head on to wherever you're going next really easily. Because otherwise you might have to go out into a place where there's the way shrine's a little bit far to get to. So finding Blessed Crucible, if you've never been here before, it won't show up. What you need to do is use home tours. Again, the video's in the description if you need to check that. Find Old Mistfell Manor. From there, just head out the door and then just head this way. So go southeast. There'll be like a bunch of wooden palisade walls here. Just go through them. You'll find a bunch of stairways leading over here, and it'll lead to Blessed Crucible over here. There'll be like a doorway out here. It's just at the boundary to Stonefalls. So yeah, that's pretty good. I'll show you another alternative though. There's another area in Shadowfen that's really good to use, and it's around this area here, around Stainwest Mansion, just north of Alton Coromount. Coromont? So things like these crocodiles here, these would be considered reptiles, so they would count. Through this area here though, you've also got guars, which count. There'll be a lot of, some more crocodiles there. There'll be giant snakes, they count as well. There'll be Kaguti as well, which count. I'll see if I can locate a Kaguti. There's a giant snake. Here you go, here's a Kaguti. So these big things here, these also count as reptiles. The only thing that doesn't count in this area is the lamias over here. These are barbaric foes, I believe they call them. So yeah, don't bother with these ones here. But the guars, giant snakes, the Kagutis, the crocodiles, they all count. And there's lots of them around this area here, all along the place. And all around Shadowfen, you'll probably find crocodiles and Kagutis all over. So yeah, just travel around this area here and you should find some stuff. Yeah, most of this area here, because it's got Stainwest Mansion, just like with Blessed Crucible, it's easy to use this just to reach here, because literally it just takes you straight out here as soon as you get out of here. You'll see the lamias, you just pass them and you'll see heaps of shit out here. I don't really use any other places for reptiles myself. Just as I said before though, you might, with one of the Mage's Guild dailies, get a public dungeon. Like you'll find Durzogs in Stormhaven's public dungeon, Bonestamp Ruins. And as I said before, in Root Sunder Ruins you'll find crocodiles. So yeah, you might find something there, but maybe do the guild daily first, but just in case you want to do this one straight away, that's fine. Because yeah, there are a lot of other guild dailies where you won't go anywhere near some reptiles. Yeah! Alright, so there's 5 daily quests in this game. There's 3 base game, 1 related to Thieves Guild, 1 related to Black Sacraments. Sorry, Dark Brotherhood. It's Black Sacraments. So the one I would suggest you do is just dependent on which one you've got. The Thieves Guild and Black Sacraments are pretty good, but Black Sacraments you can get a bounty. Thieves Guild, it takes a long time getting that set up, so if you don't have that already, then my advice is just to do a Mage's Guild daily, this one here. So you can find these in the 3 capitals, the Mages, Fighters, and Undaunted dailies. The reason I suggest this one over the other 2 is I find it is the most reliable to do quickly, but it depends. Each one of these gives you a script for scribing, and you might want to get one of those specifically, but the Mage's Guild one is... I tend to use these ones the most for like endeavors, especially multi-target and immobilize. So you get those from the Mage's Guild ones, so I suggest doing those more. But I'll talk about each one in the strengths and weaknesses, but I'll just do a Mage's Guild one because it's the most reliable, I think. I'll show you why. I'll just check what we get. So, Alika Desert. So we get Lost City and the Nutta Tambu. Now, one of the main reasons I like these ones is almost every public dungeon has a house with home tours that you can use to reach it quicker if you don't have any of the wastelands nearby. So this example here, you've got Swordsinger's Readout. So you just come out here and travel down here. It's like a 3-minute trip with a good mount. Like some other examples, Vile Manse is probably one of the worst, but you do still have a house out here and over here that you can use to get there quicker. That, or as soon as you use these houses to travel, you can just go to Vine Dusk and then travel up here. But yeah, like the Rift, normally it's a pain in the ass getting over here, but you can just use Autumn's Gate to get there much quicker, stuff like that. It's just, most of the time it's really easy using that. And secondly, with Deshaan, the reason I use this place, this house here, so when you get inside the public dungeon to do the guild daily, you'll want something to get out, because otherwise you're waiting through all the enemies just to leave. Whereas you can use a house like this to travel straight out once you're done, and it just saves you the effort of having to kill all the enemies and run all the way back to the Way Shrine. Alright, so anytime you do one of these major skill dailies, the chest location is always at the group event. So yeah, if you've done them before, you already know basically where to get them. It's always a instance chest, that's why I like these ones. The Undaunted ones, they require you to kill a delve boss usually, and you have to wait for them to respawn. Whereas this one here, you don't have to wait for anything to respawn, you just grab the chest and then you can leave. So you're not impacted by other people doing this stuff, as opposed to the other one. So now that we've got the item, this is why I said buy that house. Go to Deshaan here, travel to Flaming Nyx outside, and it just allows you to not spend any gold, just head straight to basically a Way Shrine from here. You can obviously just head straight to the Way Shrine and spend a bit of gold, but this is a way to do it for free. Obviously the initial investment does cost a bit, but you do save a lot in gold in the long run, really. Now the reason I just choose Deshaan is because this house here is really cheap. You can do it in Stormhaven and it's not too bad either, but the problem is that this house here is fucking expensive. It's like several 100,000 gold, and the one in Grantwood, the getting to the mages and fighters guilds, you can't use your mount, so it's just way slower. I just do this one because it's the most practical. So we just come in here, hand that quest in, and that's a guild daily quest endeavor done. Oh, oops. Always sit on that seat. There you go. And from the reward you get, you'll get a bound focus script. This is curated, so you'll always get one that you haven't got yet on that character. So if you've got someone that you want to get one of these for, just do it on them, and maybe that's the way to get it eventually. And yeah, you get some other stuff, which is good too. Now, the Fighters Guild one is really good too, because it's just take down a Domin. So it just get you to go to one zone, as an example in Shadowfen, it just get you to do one of these Domins here. They're pretty easy to do, it's just sometimes you get a zone and a Don that's like a pain to get to. As an example, Green Shade, whoops, press the button. Drowned Coast over here, it's just like access to this, you gotta go through the fucking ocean just to get over here, so some of these can be inconvenient. But I mean, I suppose you could say the same about the public dungeons. But yeah, that one's not too bad. And that gives you a signature script, a curated signature script, if you want these. And the Undaunted one gives you the affix, which is usually the most painful ones to get, though. So I suppose if you want to get those, that's a way. Undaunted Delve is basically the same thing as the public ones, except it's a delve. So there's a lot more delves, but you have to kill the enemies, and some of the fetch quests that you get for those is also shared with other players, so that can be a pain. So yeah, I just try to do major skill dailies when I can. But yeah, it's up to you which one you want to choose. You'll find all of these in Deshaan right next to each other, so yeah. As far as the two other ones go, heists are really good, but you need to have access to Thieves Guild, and it takes you several hours getting to the point which you can do them. But yeah, they're really good. There's no way to fuck them up. You can kill everybody in there, take ages to do it, just get the chests or the jury bags and just run out. And for the Black Sacrament, it's basically the same thing. There's no way to actually fail it. It's just that with this one here, you get a huge bounty if you don't do it stealthily. And if you do it stealthily for either of them, it can take a while to do them. Which, in that case, you might as well just do a major skill daily, because you don't have to really worry about that shit. So yeah, that's just me. So yeah, Flaming Nyx Deluxe Grey. Definitely suggest buying this for doing the major skill dailies. All of them, really. Alright, so versus. These come from the Infinite Archive. They're very quick to get. You'll get a couple of them in just a few minutes. So Infinite Archive is found here in Apocrypha. You just go out to the world maps on the northwest side, you just travel in here. This will be unlocked as soon as you start the game, and it's a base game thing, so you don't have to worry about any DLCs that you own. Even though Apocrypha is a DLC zone, this is a base game thing. Now when you get in here, to access verses, you just come through this area here. Sometimes it'll not show up. It's weird, but yeah, it's a bit janky. So you come through this door, you'll see these black circles. This is how you start Infinite Archive. Now do be aware, if you've got a companion, you can bring them out, and it generally makes it easier. Or if you have a friend that you want to do this with, you can do it as a duo, and it's way easier with a friend. That being said, it's very simple. You just get a few enemies just that you'd normally find in dungeons or Overland, and they're pretty easy to deal with. Even like on your own, the very first arc is really easy. Just make sure you have a heal. Like honestly, vigor or healing souls more than enough. Just something to keep yourself healthy. And you might struggle with resources on some of the later parts, but that's in like very rare circumstances, and just heavy attack, I suppose, if you get to that point. So once you complete a stage, it'll be 3 waves of enemies. You got a verse, so you just got to select one of these. These will usually, they're just buffs that last until the next wave, so it doesn't really matter what you pick here. I would go just something that increases your damage done, because yeah, the early stages are really easy, so just getting through them quicker is what you want to do for endeavors. So yeah, literally just the same thing as last time. There'll always be one of these range enemies here, and my advice is just stick to them at first, because the melee enemies will come over to you anyway. So they'll sit in the brand effect damage over time things, like wall of fire here, naturally, if you just stick to the range enemy. Because they're the ones who try to run away. And there we go, so stage 2 is done. So now we just go over to where the verse is. Grab it. Nothing... shield's okay. Yeah, that's it. So you've completed your 2 verses. To get out of here, you just head through the portal again. You got a boss. If you want to kill them, it's probably worth doing if you get like a really high damage verse, like the fire ring or the fire orb thing. Because when you kill them, you get like a chest that gives you archival fortunes, so that could be good. But if you don't want to worry about that, just head through the index. You don't need to fight this guy. Just head out here, turn around, you'll see the portal. This leads back outside. And then you'll be taken back to the Wayshrine. You can just do whatever you're doing next. Alright, so I'll just cover Imperial Patrolling Horrors, right? This one's actually not too bad. The main reason for that is you can, even if you don't actually get the last hit on these things, it will count for these endeavors. So what you can do is just do a bit of damage. Even if you die to another player or something like that, you'll still get participation for it. So all you really need to do is just actually try and kill it, and no matter what happens, it'll mostly work. So I'll just show you how to get to Imperial City if you want to try this. What I would advise is, it depends. If you want to do it quicker, you could probably see if there's a campaign where your faction on the character that you're going into has a high population. You might be able to follow a group around, and they might end up killing one on the way through. If you just follow them around, you could do that. Or you could go to one of the campaigns with low numbers, and there'd probably be less people running around, so there'd be less of them dead. Because there's only 12 patrolling horrors, so that's one of the issues here. So that when they die, they take a while to respawn. So if all of them are dead, you can't really do this for a while. So it's, yeah. So all you've got to do is just enter the campaign here through Alliance War. So there's 2 non-CP, 2 with champion points enabled. The champion point ones tend to have more people, but the low CP, the no champion point ones, it's harder to kill them because, yeah, obviously champion points make you stronger. Now do be aware, compared to PvE, These are basically world bosses that you'll find in PvE areas, but your healing is halved in this place. So surviving in here is a little harder than it is in Overland. So what you got to do is just head over here. There'll be a room with no icon in it. This is what I call the ladder room. So in here you'll find each of the districts here. Each district has 2 patrolling horrors, and they're all found in various locations. For the arena district, as an example, there's a Daedroth, a big Daedroth dude, and he just patrols around in a circle, basically. I think the Flesh Atronach does the same thing around here. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. What do you mean? You're already queued for that campaign? I'm sorry? I didn't know the Memorial District was its own campaign. Ugh. Tried to see if I could find one, but I can't. Oh, there's one. Oh, what do you know? So this is a patrolling horror here, Melee Maligda. There's, as far as I'm aware, there's always like one. I think they share the same, same spawn, maybe. Yeah, I've only ever seen one at a time. So yeah, that's kind of where they're called patrolling horrors. So you'll notice them first probably by the big bloody blue ring around them if you're in stealth, because that's like a anti-stealth mechanic. Wait, what? Okay, apparently I got participation for taking the district. Whatever. Okay, so yeah. All you need to do is, like I said, just go up to it and attack it. But just be aware that these things are quite nasty. Like, I probably can't handle this thing on my own, because I just don't have enough survivability. But yeah, they have a lot of health, and the odds are that you will be killed by another player while you're trying to do this. Because, yes, like, especially gankers, they hang around these kind of places all the bloody time. So yeah, your hope is to wait until some more players come around, or like hope that whoever kills you is kind enough to kill the boss and just give you participation for it. Yeah, each of the bosses, they usually have like an extra attack that they do that that the regular version of these enemy types don't have. So this one here has the turn into cocoon thing. I know Baron Thirsk can summon like portals that have like little kamikaze imps in them, basically. I don't know. I think there's like a harvester that has like a big lightning wall, basically. Yeah, they all do different stuff. There you go. So, I was going to mention before, there are certain patrolling horrors that will drop monster sets when you kill them. Lady Maligda is one of them, as you can see here. Oh wow, we've got Divines. Light as well. Shit. Okay, so if you end up killing one, and you just want to, that's all you want to do, you just want to get out of here quickly, just go to Cyrodiil and enter campaign here. Because what you can do is, while you're in the middle of nowhere, this place here is a fucking pain to get back out of. Because what you basically have to do is, there's these sewer grates icons here. This is how you get back into the sewers, and you have to go all the way back out, going past all these Daedra and possibly players, and then you get back to the safe zone. Instead, you can just queue for Cyrodiil here, and that just takes you straight out into a safe zone in Cyrodiil. You can either go back to Imperial City to spend Telvar or whatever you want to do, or there's a way shown right here which takes you back out to Overland. So that's just an easy way to get back. If you want to know which patrolling horrors spawn, this is a list here. I'll make sure this is in the description if you want to take a look. So the one we just fought is Lady Maligda. So this one here, it says, just check in this list here make sure it says headgear here, because these are the more valuable ones to kill. Because if you get the monster sets at the same time, it's just worth more. But yeah, they give you some Telvar, they give you some other stuff. It's always good, I suppose. But yeah, just be aware they are quite tough. You can handle them on a typical PvE build, but it will take a while, and you knowing it's a PvP Wild West, basically, you probably get killed before you do it. But yeah, that's why I suggest trying to get to a campaign where your faction is like quite populated on there, because maybe you'll get some other people to help you out. Alright, I think that should be it for now. So, if you got any questions, you know the drill, just give me a holler. But thanks everyone for watching, thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time, and take care for now.